What is going on, world? I am the Hungarian Experiment, and welcome back to the Neurohacking Experiments. It's been a while since I made a video here updating what's been going on with the Neurohacking Experiments. We've been waiting for the scientific results to come back from the EEG reading and the cognitive battery test, but the results are now in. So in this video, I'm going to break down the cognitive battery results pre the Neurohacking Experiments and then post the Neurohacking Experiments, so we can see what happened during the Neurohacking Experiments. Now, if you guys haven't been following along the journey, if you don't know, this is about, I believe, the 15th or 16th video in this playlist or in this series for the Neurohacking Experiments. Basically, I hopped on Ben Switzer's cognitive enhancement program, and for 3 months, I incorporated a lot of unique things that I've never really done in the past. Like, I've experimented around with concepts like nootropics and meditation, but I never really pushed it to its limits. So I'm not going to dive too deep into it in this video. If you guys are interested, that'll be in the description box below. Make sure you guys go check out the Neurohacking Experiments, because you guys are going to see in this video there was some significant changes that went on. And I personally believe that the concept of neurohacking or cognitive enhancement or cognitive optimization are going to be concepts that come up in the world a lot more in the near future here, because as I'm going to show you guys, there's some clear benefits, there's some clear changes that are noticeable and that you can see. So if this is stuff that, just like going to the gym and training your muscles and using that to aid in personal development in other areas of your life, I believe the concept of neurohacking and taking advantage of things like meditation, nootropics, brain games, all these different concepts are going to lead to a higher mental function, and it's going to enhance and affect society along with that. So let's just hop right into it. So I actually made some blog posts of the whole results pre and post, as well as a blog post breaking this down. Those are in the description box below as well if you guys are interested and want to go check them out more thoroughly. We're going to run through it really quick here though. So in terms of the areas of improvement from the cognitive battery test, there was some significant change in terms of deductive reasoning. So pre the Neurohacking Experiments, I had about a 13% results in that area, and then after the Neurohacking Experiments, it went up to 83%. So there was a 70% change in my results. And what happens with deductive reasoning is that this is the core cognitive ability to apply rules to information in order to arrive at a logical conclusion. So that's pretty crazy that there's that big of results. Again, there could be other factors affecting this, as I'm going to mention later on. I want to see this test be repeated multiple times, so that way we can draw some long-term real conclusions. I don't think 3 months is really long enough to state anything 100%. It's clear that results and things are changing though, so that's what's very unique, and that's what I believe I want to display through this video. So in terms of response inhibition, there wasn't a huge change. Response inhibition refers to the ability to concentrate on relevant information in order to make a correct response despite interference or distracting information. Now there was only about a 7% change. So next we're going to move on to working memory. So with working memory, I actually had a 36% change. It went from 53% all the way up to 89%. And working memory refers to the ability to temporarily hold information in memory and strategically manipulate or update it based on changing circumstances or demands. So that's a really cool result right there. Next, we move on to visual spatial working memory. So I went from 24% up to 48%, a 24% change. And this refers to the ability to temporarily hold information in memory and manipulate or update it based on changing circumstances or demands. So very similar to a working memory there. So it's showing that very similar results are occurring in terms of the brain changes. So that's awesome. And then we have planning. Planning actually went up 49%, went from 37 all the way up to 86. And planning refers to the ability to act with forethought and to sequence behavior in an orderly fashion to reach specific goals. Next, we move on to to episodic memory, there was a 38% change from 15 to 53%. And this refers to the ability to remember and recall specific events paired with the context in which they occurred, such as identifying when and where an object was encountered. From there, we move on to spatial short-term memory. It went from 42% to 66%, resulting in a 24% change. And this refers to the cognitive system that allows for temporary storage of spatial information in memory. Spatial short-term memory deals with the relationship between objects in space. Then, if you guys are interested, I also made sure to include the areas of retrogression. I'm not going to dive into them in this video, but as you can see there's still some significant changes in terms of the regression as well. And that's where I break down a little bit farther, is that this is just a breakdown of my results pre and post. What happens with your brain, very similar to working out at the gym. When you train your brain and you really work hard in certain areas, it can be sore just like your muscles. And for those days that you are recovering, or it could be sometimes weeks and months as your brain and the neural pathways are changing in there and you're adapting to new habitual patterns that you're applying into your life, is that you might have this kind of brain or muscle soreness. Again, I'm not no expert on this, so don't take this 100%, but this is just from my understanding about it, is that you may see an actual decline in terms of the results, but that doesn't mean you're not getting better. You may have reduced mobility when you're sore, like you might be so tight and you're like, oh, I can't move as much, or I just did leg day, and now the next day after that it's really hard to walk around. But it doesn't mean that you're not improving, and that once you're fully recovered and you train through that early stages of this process, that you're not going to shoot up and actually get amazing results from it. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. Again, this is just a breakdown from the cognitive battery test. In the next video, I'm going to break down the EEG results from all the brain scans that we did pre and post the neurohacking experiments as well. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you've been following along the whole neurohacking experiments, I'd really love you leave some comments down below. Let me know what you think about all this. This wasn't easy. This was a lot of work. 3 months out of my life to really dedicate myself and experiment to this unique concept of cognitive enhancement and neurohacking. And then I got to edit it all and work with Ben to make sure that these results are something that we can really bring and display to you guys and show that there's a change without trying to get your hopes too high, that there's these amazing benefits. Very similar to the microdosing experiments that I'm doing right now, where I'm experimenting with psychedelics, is that it all sounds amazing, and when you're in the experience, it definitely is an amazing experience, but it's like, that doesn't seem like there's huge changes to people who are watching from the outside and looking in. But from when you're inside and looking out, you're like, wow, I can't believe that I didn't used to think like this before, or that I was scared to experiment or scared to push myself to these limits and push my body and my mind to this place. So again, I believe it takes a lot of time, and that these results don't justify or mean anything 100%. But I believe the fact that there are clear and significant changes in multiple areas of my brain show that something happened. There were changes that occurred. So that's what I believe this neurohacking experiments did. Again, I'd love to see further testing to maybe redo the cognitive battery test every few months just to stay on top of things and see how things are changing. I have really dialed back in terms of the neurohacking experiments. I haven't been taking nootropics anymore. I haven't been playing brain games. I still do meditate, but definitely not as often, but several times a week for sure. So there you have it, guys. Make sure you guys go check out all the neurohacking experiment videos if you guys are interested in this. I think, again, this is some serious stuff that's going to change the way we look at mental health, the way we look at education, the way we look at how to optimize ourselves as human beings. So if you guys enjoyed this video, maybe you got some value from it, I'd love you to go hit that like button, and please go leave me a comment. I'll see you guys in the next video for the breakdown of the EEG brain scan readings. I am the Hungarian Experiment.